What's going on, Pamper Gang? This is the boy with the Pampers and Toys. Al recording from historical, beautiful paradise. And please make sure you like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Boy with the Pampers and the Toys. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe to your family, your friends, and all of the enemies. Attention, 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 attention. Okay, and also follow my Twitter page and my Instagram page, the same name as on YouTube, The Boy with the Pampers and the Toys. I don't know if I have the link for Twitter put up on my YouTube so people can find it easily, but it's spelled the same way in the same logo. If you see it in the profile, it's there. I mostly upload the YouTube videos and some pictures and maybe just news that is going on in the world when it comes to toys, maybe cartoons or something, some links that don't belong to me, but they belong to other, you know, whatever. 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 All ever. All right, and as you can see, the whole gang is back. Whole gang is back. Hope that didn't come out wrong. Eileen, Olive Oil, it looks like Chucky. He wants to talk to me about some things about Tiffany and her feuds with all these people. This is a scary guy. But one thing I can tell is he has a split eye for everything that his wife does. But sir, you can't scare me. I see you on TV. So ain't that right, Yoda? I agree. But oh, Yoda just says pow. Okay. So today's video is going to be a video that these figures been out for a minute. And again, I'm one of the people where if I want to present, I want to present. If I can't afford it online and I see it in the store, I'm gonna get it. Anything to skip all the shipping and handling today. Shipping and handling. My coffee's not working, y'all. It's making me jittery. Okay, so today we're gonna be talking about The Last of Us Part 2 action figures. And this is something that I've been wanting for a minute. I actually wanted The Last of Us, the first action figures they had, and I just couldn't. Let me just explain real quick. I'm bold when it comes to if I see the product in the store, yeah, I'm gonna get it. But if I see like the prices online, I don't be want to pay that much. And I think as time go on, let's be honest, I think the toy industry, it's not going to decline, but I think that people are going to back off more because of quality control as well as finances. I even, was in a conversation on Instagram with a couple of big toy influencers, and I was so happy to be a part of that conversation with them. I'm like, I'm honored with my little bitty following. Y'all got over 50,000 people following y'all, but it's not really the ego thing. It's just more so, the honor to be a part of this conversation. Like, what do you think about the toy industry? And I was like, well, I put my little input in. I think that a lot of the workers at these warehouses, and they're not getting paid well, and some people just not giving a care, and they just painting the product, putting the product in their own kind of way, and there's not no quality that oversees it going down the assembly line for the customers like me, you, and the rest of the world. And it's just a shame that the toy industry has came to that. But enough about that. That will be like a video I'm gonna do maybe by itself one day and talk about some things that I've experienced. So, The Last of Us. If you this is based on one of the best video games ever created to man. I'm sorry if it ain't this. It's Manhunt the game. Well, let's see, Grand Theft Auto, which I don't advise young kids to play that game. It's a mature rated game. And then there was Manhunt, there was Bully, and in that order there came along The Last of Us, the first one. And the story, let me give y'all a brief. If you haven't, not really gonna give no spoiler alerts, but I'm gonna tell y'all briefly about the game because it's actually a TV show that's out. But the TV show has some hidden messages, and I'm not gonna discuss that on this video because, I don't really want my stuff getting taken down or anything. I'm not gonna be deep in the rabbit hole like that. But let's talk about the game. So the game is based on a post-apocalyptic world. There's a guy named Joel, and Joel lost his daughter, and so the state of humanity is like insane zombie outbreaks and everything, and basically there are so many different groups, entities out here that in this post-apocalyptic world. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm trying. And Joe, you're just him, and you come across a young little girl named Ellie, and Ellie, to be honest with you, I'm gonna have to throw it out there. She's the cure for humanity. Her blood to like wipe out the virus out of your body. So he protects Ellie because she's resistant to the bite marks of the zombie. So Joel goes on an adventure. I'm like, the video game was so heartwarming because this guy, it's not like he found a reincarnation of his daughter years later, but he has something to love and protect. He has emotional disconnects in his mind, so he has something to love now. He might be a tough as nails type of guy, but he has his reasoning. And so the adventure was a long video game. You come across a lot of people, and I'm not gonna get through that storyline. Sometimes you play as Ellie in the first one, and Ellie, there's certain things she can hold as her own because she's a young girl. She's like 13, 12 years old in the game. So let's move on to part two, because everybody wants to get their hands on Ellie. They really want to get their hands on Ellie. It's a lie, cheat, and steal type of situation, and you'll find out. I feel like everybody should play that game. So part two, you play as Ellie and another young lady. And the young lady, I can't think of her name. I think her name is Abby. I don't know. But it's a story where it ties in together with Ellie. Ellie is now a grown woman. She's 19. And it's still a post-apocalyptic world. Joel is in the game, but I don't want to tell anything else about Joel. So when you played as Ellie in the first one, it basically was a little bit of here, a little bit of there. There's certain little things she can do. But on this game, homegirl can fight it out. She has that knife. She has different weapons. That crossbow. It is on. It is on. Ellie is sick and tired. She found out a lot about herself. You found out a lot about Ellie in part one, the downloadable, playable character, not playable character, but DLC pack. If you get it, it's like a prequel story to the first one. And then in here, you find out more about this girl. And the rabbit hole gets very deep when it comes to her. So with that being said, let's get to the action figures. The action figures is based on part two. And I love this packaging. I really, to be honest with you, I think when I open up this package, I want to take these pictures off right here. And I want to not like frame them. Because as you know, the actress, only thing I know is the actress that plays on, I think, Criminal Minds, the blonde, the telecommunications girl. I think that's the voice of Ellie. But they got a TV show. I don't want to watch the TV show because pretty much if you played the game, you don't need to watch the TV show. Why? It's just for the TV show. I'm for sure it's phenomenal. I'm not taking it from anybody. I think it still comes on. I advise you to watch it if you haven't played the game. If you don't feel like playing the game, but the game is like a whole movie. It's like a whole long. The first one was like 5 hours long, and then the second one was like 10 hours, and it was intense. I couldn't stop. I would save if I was tired. When I get off work, let me play this. I'm gonna beat this game, and it was really good. So, other than that, let's get to the action figures. So this is the Last of Us 2-pack with Joel. Mr. Joel, Mr. Joel. And then the second one is with Miss Ellie. And these figures are very beautiful. And Naughty Dog, actually, and NECA. NECA did create this. NECA makes some great products. Like back here, I've been saying this for a long time, and I do apologize, gang. I'm gonna do a walkthrough of Paradise one day again. I did a walkthrough when I first started this channel, but Paradise has expanded real heavy since then. So I'm gonna show everybody just collections. I've been trying to get the room together because this room is so small. The wall is filled up, but that don't mean that there's that I'm not gonna have a bigger wall down the road. Gotta get a bigger place. You know what I mean? Logically. So let's see. Return to the high stakes world of the award winning The Last of Us 2 video game with Joel Ellie scale action figures. Over 30 points of articulation on each figure, stunning detail, faithful to the game, screen accurate accessories to recreate scenes. And they both come with a lot of weapons, and I'm excited about that because one thing about me with action figures, I love weapons. I love them. So what I'm gonna do is to be on the safe side because I really do like these pictures of Joe and Ellie. When Paradise expands bigger, when I get a bigger place, I want to definitely probably have like some artwork up, and this is something that I would love to hang on the wall because it's based on video games slash toys. So the packaging was real nice. I found this figure at Target. It was like $80. And why did I purchase it? Because I'm a big fan of The Last of Us video game. So, alright, let's get this package open. I've been running my mouth for about 11 minutes. Alrighty, so with that being said, I know it's going to be easier ways to open up packaging and everything, but I'll take the hard way sometimes too, and not the healthy way. So I think that the packaging was phenomenal. Look at all these weapons. Oh my gosh. Alright, so put that right there. I'm not going to have time to do all of that. So first we're going to be talking about, oh wow. They didn't play about strapping these figures down. And I do see why some people on their videos just skipped over, you know, opening up the figure in their package. But I'm just one of the people where y'all gonna watch me do all of this because I want y'all to see what I'm getting and if it's the right accessories, the right figure, because y'all know my whole ordeal when it comes to these figures. So I know these two characters right here, they have them like strapped down to the T. And I appreciate that. It's not really, I wish I had some fingernail clippers to clip this stuff, but I got some somewhere around here. I just gotta find them. I'm a nail biter and that's not healthy. Okay. So, but this game, as I'm cutting this along, it reminds me so much of it's like Resident Evil on steroids. If y'all ever played Resident Evil, but I think this, I'm not saying Resident Evil to have a realistic story, but it had that feel good of the virus, the T virus. And in this game, it has a T virus too, but the difference was that there's one human being out here that actually resistant to any of the bite marks and stuff. Okay. So first, let's get into Ellie's weapons real quick before we talk about Ellie herself. Okay. Now, if you're not careful, you will lose these weapons. Well, like some of the arrows and all of that. So be careful when you're taking them out of package because once they fall on the floor, I'm sorry about that game, that it's gonna be hard to find them unless you get a vacuum cleaner or a broom. You'll be like, "Oop, I just whipped up something." Scary. So Ellie in the game has this famous bow and arrow that she had in the first one. If you Google The Last of Us 2 game, first one, the second one, Ellie's famous bow and arrow. As you can see, she comes with 4 arrows. They look so realistic. Look at them. And I'm going to show them one by one because I know how my camera is. It would be, I wish I had like some tweezers. Maybe one day in the store. I got some tweezers somewhere around here. So if y'all can see that this is the bow and arrows. She got 4 of them, which is pretty cool, pretty decent. Homemade weapons too that she made from, you know, being that rebel in the wilderness. You know, post-apocalyptic world, you ain't got no choice but to try to survive. So, Her bow and arrow. This is the best looking bow and arrow that I've seen on an action figure to date. And this bow and arrow, it has real strings. It has a real string on it, so be very careful because they could pop. Okay, so I'm gonna let the world see that. It looks phenomenal. Then next, Ellie has she has this sniper rifle. It comes very handy in a video game, and this is beautifully rendered. I think that NECA did a beautiful job. This is one of the most beautiful sniper rifles I've ever seen before. And I'm gonna show the other side. It looks real. I can see why these action figures cost a lot of money, you know. And Ellie has two knives in the game. She's like, Joel is more of a hands-on, the axe and the machete. Ellie can have a machete if she wants to, but she's real good with that knife. She knows where to hit the pressure point. Well, I don't want to talk about all that. I know kids watch, but let's be honest. In the game, she knows what to do. So with that being said, moving on, let's show her. I want to show all her weapons and what she comes with. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Ellie or Joe. Let's just say this is Ellie's weapon right here, this handgun. Because I see where they have it, because you do have a handgun in the game, and it does come in handy when you run out of bullets, because the actual ammunition in the game is very scarce. So, if you can see it, I know, I should have had like some tweezers, skinny tweezers, so people can really see everything all the way through. So, I'll show that with Joe's side real quick. Oh gosh. Now, like I said, these knives right here, if you drop them on the floor, it's easy for them to blend. If you got wooden floors like me, in my place, it'll be easy to blend in with the floor. So this is her switchblade right here. And I'm going to show it the best ability in my lighting. I do apologize. I don't have the most fabulous type of camera and all of that. So, okay. So that's her switchblade. You know one of them blades where you just, it's like a butterfly blade. That's what that is. And then, last but not least, she has a homemade shard that she had in the first one. And I think this is her lucky knife that she made. Like, it looks like rubber bands around it, possibly. And there you go. There you have it. Let me see if maybe, yeah, I think it's good enough. Y'all can see it. All right, so Ellie does come in a backpack. I am going to definitely put it on her. There's her backpack. It looks like there's an open hole for maybe you can put the arrows in, and I'm gonna try that real quick before I talk about the action figure real quick. Maybe you could fit all the arrows in here. I'm not for sure, but it does not hurt to try. So, I think maybe all of them possibly can fit in here. And this figure's been out for a while. I just actually got it a while back myself, and I meant to talk about it. You know, I'm trying to push it to talk about stuff real quickly now, instead of waiting to put on reels and then later on talk about it. But, you know, hey, I'm a toy collector. I got a big room full of stuff. So, let's talk about this beautifully... Oops, I don't want to lose none of Joe's hands. So this figure right here is very gorgeous. Very gorgeous. And let's see, there's ballpoint. I don't have a problem with the legs up here being ballpoint joints and all of that. My problem is I don't want the knees to be like, have them pins in it, because they can fall out easily. I know when I'm getting to the legs, the ballpoint legs is right here. So this is a beautifully sculpted figure. Ellie looks beautiful. As you know, Ellie's not the girliest girl, and if you play the video game, I'm not going to reveal some things about her personal life to you. You know, if you want to judge it already, judge it already. So, being a post-apocalyptic world, you don't know what to judge. So, the face sculpt is amazing. They really got it on point about just how she looks in a video game. And in the video game, she looks real anyway. So they got her tattoo right here. I kind of wish they would have had some different like bodies for her. If you're gonna pay all this money, it was worth it. I'm not gonna lie. Like 80, it was like I think it was like $84 I paid for this figure, something to that degree. And they got her tattoo right here. I'm gonna show her tattoo if you can see it real clear. What is on this tattoo? It looks like this could possibly be like some type of plant slash bird, if I'm mistaken. And again, if you play the video game, you know that these stains on her clothes and her rips on her jeans is from her being a savage baby in the wilderness fighting for survival. Because in that post-apocalyptic world, there's a lot of zombies, a lot of different type of creatures. I forgot what them creatures was called. I haven't played a game about a year, maybe a year and a half, something like that. That's how long this game has been out, part 2. So, as you can see, her hands right here. I love her hands because they actually have different hands so you can hold weapons, and I'm going to switch that out. So, I think she has like a trigger hand right here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this hand out that you see. I hate that my lightning is like that. I gotta fix that. But that's her. That's a grip hand. Like a. I think she can probably hold her her weapon of choice in this hand. But we're gonna try some different things. We're gonna try some different things before I switch out her hands. Like that's her homemade sharp shard knife, whatever you want to call it. And then in this hand, let me get her. I want you to see the butterfly knife that she got, because I showed it with my hands, but so that was the butterfly knife that I wanted to show everybody that she's holding. If you could tell what she's holding, pretty cool, ain't it? Pretty cool, pretty cool. So let's see. I think let me go ahead and switch. Where is Ellie's? Okay, that's her trigger hand. I wonder if I can probably get her to hold this bow and arrow. I think maybe, possibly, in the other hand. Because this hand right here is too open, so I think that maybe, let me see. She could probably hold the gun in this hand, the small handgun. Now maybe this gun is meant for Joel. Because Ellie mainly uses her bow and arrows. Her bow and arrows is all that in the game. Her bow and arrow. So, let's see. Let's see, can she hold this handgun in this hand? Okay. So there she go holding her handgun. Pretty cool, ain't it? Pretty cool. I'm just showing it from the angle, whatever I can. So, on this hand right here, because it looks like Joel got 2 sets of hands and Ellie has 4. So, let's see, can she hold this bow and arrow? Lord. Maybe. I'm gonna take his handgun out. And, we're gonna definitely, let's do it this way. Because you just have a lot more options with Ellie when it comes to, the grappling of the hands. Maybe I can do it that way. Okay. Uh-oh, hold on. You gotta be careful too, because again, that string can pop. Okay. So, this is Ellie holding her bow and arrow. Her bow, crossbow. Not crossbow, bow. Bow. So, It's let me so you can see her face, beautifully like scanned face. So I'm gonna take this out. This is her backpack right here. But before we go further, here is where this is what her feet look like. She got these chucks. She looks a little dirty, you know, but not dirty. I'm not saying in a disrespectful way because she is in a post-apocalyptic world where there's scarce food and water and they gotta hunt and, you know, delete to survive. So there's a blood stain on her shirt. No telling who it came from, where it came from. And there's her ripped jeans. A lot of people, I think, were like thinking that her ripped jeans were maybe like a malfunction, or maybe some type of malfunction or something. The coloring at the company, but no, it's actually how she looks in the video game. Just how we all would look in a post-apocalyptic world, if you know what I mean. Her hair looks just like she did in the video game. In the first one, she had a long ponytail, but in this one, she has just a little pullback, cut it. You know, maybe she cut it with her switchblade, like I don't need hair, and a little ponytail in the back. The shirt is pretty rubbery, made of a good material. I really would have liked if they would have just made a figure with the shirt on underneath, and that could have been cloth right here. Maybe I'm asking for too much. But overall, this figure looks great. The articulation is on point. I love it. There's really not much to say. She almost could do the splits, almost. And I give this figure a 10 out of 10. I love it. This was a very beautiful figure, but let's try to put her backpack on. I just hope I don't break her arms. I know me, my little clumsy self. Okay. All right, let's see. Can we get this on her? Because it's easy for these straps to break off too, by the way. So you definitely have to be very careful with that. Let's see. It will probably. Let's do it like this. Let's be realistic. Cause. Okay. I don't think she has any like pocket holders for her knives or anything, but that's all right. We still want to make it realistic as possible. Okay. So we're just gonna pretend she already have her guns and everything in her pocket. So if Ellie was on the hunt, well, you know, like in a video game, this is what she would look like with her weapons of choice and everything. And I can actually have a handgun in her hand as well too. So it wouldn't be no problem. So that's what she would look like at her fighting these zombies and monsters and everything. So definitely pick this figure up at Target. It might be a little cheaper now, but it was like I think it was like close to $90 that I paid for both of these figures. And I think it was well worth it. And Naughty Dog and NECA Toys did a wonderful, fabulous job on this figure. There's Ellie, everybody. That's what the backpack looks like with the arrows. So, can't wait to take a picture. Okay, so last but not least, here is Joel. As you know, Joel was like her father, her adopted father in this game. And Joe is a man of truth. He's a man that wants to know the truth. A lot of us want to know the truth out here. And definitely courage under fires under his belt. So Joe don't mind being deleted to know the truth and then to stop it. That's how you fell in love with this character. You really did. You fell in love with Ellie, but Ellie pretty much is the stop that can cause all of this. Not just with her blood, but with her fight that she has in her. So with Joel, before I show Mr. Joel, let's talk about his weapons of choice. So he has a pump handle shotgun, which Joel was known for. Last, oh, I don't want none of this plastic in the way. I love this axe. This is the best looking axe that I've seen on a action figure to date. Like, it looks so realistic. Then Joe has a, I would say this is like a machete. It's something they use in the wilderness to cut the limbs and trees down. I would not trees, but you know about the limbs and stems and all of that. I think this right here is a machete. I don't know my knives. In the comments in the future, please tell me what this one is. But I think this is a machete. If I'm wrong, just let me know. I don't saw people have this in the trunk of their cars in the real life. I'm like, ooh, yikes. Okay, so as you see, there are stains of blood on here. And there was stains of blood on, no, it wasn't stains of blood. Maybe it was. There was some blood on here too on Ellie's shard, her little sharp shard with the rubber bands and rope. So, Joe does come with this handgun right here. I could tell that was made for him. The other gun could have been made for him too. I think this is more like a, is it a Magnum, I think? I don't know. Okay, so here is Joe. Joe is more so, oh, and by the way, I didn't show the world this. I'm going to show it on Joe too as well. You can move their heads up and down. That's what's so a great thing about these figures. Their heads are, the articulation is wonderful. You can move their head around, up, down. Yes, Joe. Yes, Joe. We have to go find food. Let's get a pig with some blood. Okay. So, Joe, I just wish both of these figures would have had like a different head sculpt of expression. Joe really didn't smile in the game at all. He was so he was always the one wanted to protect Ellie. So he taught her everything she needed to know about survival. That's why Ellie's good off on part 2, the video game. The jacket, look at the jacket. You know, kind of wrinkly. It's the fact of the post-apocalyptic world. Can't say they had, you know, it is what it is. Like they had a dryer and an iron or a dry cleaner because they try to survive better than all of that. So the man's face tells it all how he feels. Joe's in this one, he got older. Part 1, I think it was like maybe a 6-year difference, but I think that Joe is aging fast because the stress and the worries of protection of Ellie and himself, and then, you know, worried about what happened to his little girl in the beginning of part 1. I would say, like the boots, look, this whole figure looks so real. I mean, NECA, their figures really look realistic anyway. And Joe is just a man, a father that wants to protect, you know, who he needs to protect, regardless of whatever may have happened in the past. So, it looks like he has a trigger hand right here. So Joe did come with 2 hands. Ellie came with 4 sets of hands. Well, I think she came with 3 hands. I don't think it was 4. I think there's some different triggering of hands. So let's show you what. I think Joe had a backpack in part 1, if I'm not mistaken. So here is one what the handgun could look like in his hand. And actually, like I said, the articulation is great on these figures as well. Joe's can do the same thing with his head. Hey, Ellie, get back here. Get back here. I have to save you. Please, hurry up. So, I don't see a lot of figures that can do that. And, you know, the ballpoint legs, just like Ellie. The ballpoint up here, I don't mind that part, like I said, being that. But when it comes to the pins and the knees and all of that and the elbows, which Ellie's figure had pinless elbows too. And Joe, you can lift him up all the way, his arms and everything, which is a great thing. Man, he looks almost like MacGyver. But you know, MacGyver didn't need no handguns. He just dodged you and push you, tackle you. I don't know. I don't think the man ever used a gun in the TV show. So, all right. So let's change. Let's see what he looks like holding this shotgun right here, because that was one of Joe's key things in the video games. So there's the shotgun he's holding. He's a bad Brother Jenna. That's all I'm gonna say. So we can get him to hold the shotgun, pump handle shotgun like that. And if Joe wanted to, here's what that famous machete looks. Well, I gotta change the hands out. So that trigger hand's gonna be changed to his hand because Joe actually has 3 different hands as well too. This is the other hand, but I don't think that that hand is good to even have because look at the grip of it, small. So if Joe wanted to, he could have the handgun. Well, we'll do it that way. That's what he looks like holding the little knife or machete or whatever. I don't know. Don't get me lying. But the big machete, this is what he would look like holding the big machete. I kind of wish Joe would have came with a backpack, and that he would have had like Ellie a cloth shirt to put over his other shirt. But you know, it's cool for what it is. I'm not gonna complain and take points off because these are 2 of the greatest looking figures I've ever seen. So, last but not least, he does, like I said, come with that axe. So what I want Joe to do, what I want him to do. That axe was everything in the game. Like that was one of the strongest melee weapons that he can handle. If I'm not mistaken, I think Ellie had one in part 2. Because that's who you really play as, her and the other young lady that was in the game. So, I think they did great on the colors. The blue, this jacket looks real. The whole figure looks real. There's really not really much to say. The blue jeans, the boots, the combat boots he got on look realistic. And that is Joel, everybody. That is our Joel. Joel is here to protect and serve Ellie, not, you know what I mean. So I definitely give this figure a 10 out of 10. I would say get this added to your collection. I think these 2 figures are going to be worth a lot of money down the road because look how real they look. This is the most realistic figures I've ever seen, like eyes on. So definitely the articulation is the best in the game. Maybe some other companies can learn articulation from NECA Toys with these figures. Not saying all their figures are articulated like this, but this is great. So, there you have it, folks. The Last of Us figures. And they stand up pretty well. So, you can't find too many figures that stand up like that at all. I would like to thank all my new friends for subscribing to my channel, The Boy with the Pampers and the Toys, and everybody else, YouTube World and Pamper Gang. Well, Pamper Gang is already the Pamper Gang. Please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Boy with the Pampers and the Toys. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe to your family, your friends, and your enemies. And also, you can follow my Twitter page and my Instagram page, The Boy with the Pampers and the Toys, spelled the same way like it is on YouTube. I always upload frequently whenever I can, and definitely I have a great time with you guys on here. Got you guys and you dolls and you guys. How about that? And more stuff to come. Everyone have a great day.